Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2014, and this is Tech Talk Today, episode 100. And my name is Chris.
I am Angela.
Hey there, Angela. What you got there in your hand? What you doing today? We got to be upfront and honest, so just tell them. Be straight.
It is
Be real.
hot chocolate.
Oh, that was not what I expected
Hot
you to say.
chocolate with peppermint schnapps.
Hey-oh, for episode 100. So pour yourself a drink and join us. We're going to go through the news today. And we also have our Kickstarter of the week, a very special Kickstarter of the week coming up. So why don't we get started by introducing our Mumble Room. Time-appropriate greetings there, Mumble Room.
Hello.
Greetings. Happy 100.
Thank you.
Good morning.
All right, so let's start with a story that we've been following since late last week, this Sony Pictures hack. And it appears to have gotten uglier, and now there are some reports that North Korea is not necessarily denying involvement. And as you remember yesterday, I said that they had a new movie coming out. That
Yes.
This is a frame from that new movie of the North Korean leader.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. More evidence has emerged that makes Sony Pictures' hack look similar to a suspected attack on the South Korean companies over a year ago. And a spokesperson for the North Korean government, rather than denying the country's involvement, is kind of playing coy. When contacted by the BBC, a spokesperson for North Korea's mission to the United Nations said, "The hostile forces are relating everything to North Korea. I kindly advise you to just wait and see." Hostile forces, I think, being the U.S. in that sentence. So we also have seen some of the files that have been leaked out now. Though Brian Krebs has a link online, and Ars Technica does as well.
With quotes, right? Leaked.
Well, I mean, I think they got hacked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the hack's fake. I just think I think it's just being made in this big drama story about it. The attacks in this contained at least 25 gigabytes of data from the Sony network. So that could include movie files if it's 25 gigabytes. The question would be, I mean, seriously, from a technical standpoint, how do you do a sustained 25 gigabyte transfer and nobody notices that?
And, supposedly or possibly while all the computers were supposed to be down.
And even
which
if
is what we mentioned yesterday.
Even if or maybe it was 25 gigs over a month, but still.
Yeah.
So in an email that Ars got that had the link to the archive, some of the stuff that was in there, some of the data in this archive, 25 gig archive, was tens of terabytes, they said, which is the full amount. But tens of terabytes is just their claim. All they've seen is 25 gigabytes. Some of the stuff that Ars saw in there was like employee spreadsheets, 401k information.
Okay, I was going to say 25 gigabytes, that's like one movie, right?
Well, one high-resolution movie. Excel spreadsheets, screen grabs from mainframe terminal sessions, including some payroll and medical data.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually pretty heavily targeted at employees. So what Ars got to see, there's been a lot. There's been tens of terabytes has been one report. Brian Krebs said like 25 gigabytes. Ars has seen a gigabyte, mostly sales data, mostly from April of this year. They say it goes back in total to about 5 years. It goes all the way back, but a lot of it was just from April of this year. PowerPoint templates were in there. Images of contracts for television deals, including local affiliate contracts for Dr. Oz and Seinfeld reruns. Some things sent by fax that were digitized. And a file from a salesman's computer called passwords.doc is in the archive.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Yeah. There was also a Lotus Notes username and passwords file. One of the passwords that they use is Sony123, and the O in Sony is with a 0. So there was fax numbers also, all kinds of stuff that was in the archive, but no movie data that Ars saw. So they had a phone conversation with a analytics company. Ars did. An analytics company was doing some review of the evidence, and they think, this analytics company does, and the name is on here somewhere, they think that from a psychological standpoint, this attack seemed pretty targeted at the employees of Sony, and they seem to have a lot of inside information of how Sony's network was laid out. So they say, from our perspective, it's likely someone internal leaking information because they knew how to get it, rather than an outside attacker.
Right.
That could be pretty, or maybe an insider working with an outside attacker.
in cahoots with.
Yeah. Because it is a lot of stuff, and it's targeted at employees, and there's been some recent... the Ars article goes on to speculate, it's not fact, but they go on to speculate that perhaps it was related to some recent layoffs or changes that, people might have grievances that have been laid off. And maybe they're laid off in new passwords, like things like Sony123.
Yeah.
So
or just password.
But North Korea, then at the same time, not totally denying involvement. They just said wait and see. What's that about?
So much bacon to fry, such little time.
Yeah, right?
Well, it's a free attack. If everybody, attributes it to North Korea, they didn't do it, but they get the credit. They get it for free.
Makes them look like a... Right. It's almost in their interest not to deny it because it makes them look like a foe you wouldn't want to mess with.
Yep. And people are doing it for free. And I'm thinking to get that much data out, we were talking about SneakerNet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And especially if it was an insider, right? Yeah, you would just load it on a hard drive, wouldn't you? That's probably how you would... That would be the easiest, most safe way to move that much data.
Right, because you have the internal network.
You're on the LAN or something, you plug in a USB drive, you copy the data over, and you walk... I mean, that's what Edward Snowden did, right?
Yep.
That's the safest way to do it. Because if you do any sustained transfer, well, any halfway decent network's going to have charts and logs and...
Right.
Yeah.
I like that use SnowdenNet.
Yeah, use SnowdenNet. Yeah. That's probably a more modern version than SneakerNet. All right. So why this is the week of cyber attacks. This is another big story that came out yesterday. And critical networks in the U.S. and 15 other companies have been completely owned, according to this report, by Iran. For more than 2 years, pro-Iranian hackers, I don't know what that is, have penetrated some of the world's most sensitive computer networks, including those operated by U.S.-based airlines, automakers, natural gas producers, defense contractors, and military installations, according to security researchers. Didn't name any names. In many cases, Operation Cleaver, as it's being called, was a sustained hacking campaign. It's attained the highest levels of system access in 16 countries in total, according to a report published Tuesday by security firm Cylance. I think that's how you say that. What do you think, Ann? Clients?
I'm looking for it.
Cylance or whatever. It's Cylance, Cylance.
Oh, yeah, Cylance, yeah.
Yeah, they say compromised systems in ongoing attacks included Active Directory domain controllers that store employee login credentials, servers running Microsoft Windows, Linux, routers, including Cisco switches, virtual private network endpoints, with more than 50 victims, including airports, hospitals, telecommunication providers, chemical companies, and governments. The Iranian-backed hackers are reported to have extraordinary control over much of the world's critical infrastructure. Wow.
Jeez. The
86-page report relies on circumstantial evidence to arrive at the conclusion that 20 or more hackers participating in Operation Cleaver are backed by Iran's government. Many of this is their evidence. Many of the custom-configured hacking tools they used to connect like command and control servers were external IP addresses that trace back to Iran. The infrastructure supporting the vast campaign, they say, is too sprawling to be the work of a lone individual or a small group. So therefore, it's also nation-state sponsored. So they say it's nation-state sponsored. The command and control servers are in Iran, and all 50 targets in 16 countries are known to have been compromised. 10 victims in the U.S., 4 in Israel, and 5 in Pakistan.
Wow.
No details on which companies. But it sounds like they got Active Directory. If you get the Active Directory controller, you got everything in the network. Everything that's at least secured by a Windows login. And very light on details, so we get the boogeyman.
Yep.
But we don't really get much, and we get the critical infrastructure all over the world. That's pretty scary.
I do like that it implied that it was a big enough breach, or sophisticated enough to potentially be more than one person, which is not what we got from Sony, even though it feels like it could have just been one person.
Yeah.
They're kind of making it sound like it's super huge.
By the scale of it and the scope of it. So I have linked in the show notes the full report, the 86-page report, and I think probably Alan will have a chance to go through this too. We'll probably do a breakdown on the technical aspects of it, because one of the things I'm often critical of is this is very light, right? This notes I just read, very light on technical details. But the Cylance folks actually published a fairly technical report on like the network traffic, the packets they're seeing, the screenshots of the compromise. So I haven't had a chance to read through it since it came out last night, but hopefully we'll get a chance to digest it before TechSnap and do more of an in-depth technical analysis of the attack. Tomorrow on TechSnap. All right, so I love, for some reason, following this new media set-top horse race. I think the Roku got me interested again. And not surprisingly, it seems to have a lot of people interested. Roku is still topping sales of streaming top media players. Not all good news for Roku, though. So here's the details. During the first 3 quarters of 2014, 10% of U.S. households with broadband connections, 10% of folks that have broadband connections are buying at least one streaming media player, according to Parks Associate. That's a research company. Roku's lineup of set-top boxes and streaming sticks was the most popular. They had 29% of the market. That's actually despite a sales dip for them. The Chromecast leaped into number 2 with 20% of the market share. That's a huge win for Google. And Apple TV dropped down to third place with 17% of the market share. And the Amazon Fire TV came in with a pretty respectable 10% for being such a new device. So Roku has been the dominant leader since 2012.
Yeah, it really is a solid system because we've tried at least 5.
Yeah.
At least 5
It sounds like the Amazon Fire could be bringing some serious competition, but here's the numbers for Roku. Last year, at this time, they were in 46% lead. So now they're down to 29. That's a pretty big drop. They also, I mean, the bigger slip for Apple, too. Apple TV slipped from 26% to 17%.
It's just sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharing is caring.
Yep, they're it's the Google Chromecast and Amazon Fire that are nipping away at that.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that they've even lost market share. It's just that new people have come into the market
at lower
with
price
a
points.
different device.
You can get, like, over Cyber Monday, what was the Chromecast, like $20 or something? Like, it's just,
I don't know.
It's unbelievable. So anybody in here have a Chromecast?
Yo.
What do you think of it? Is it compared to any other devices? Do you like it quite a bit? Is it something you use frequently, or is it you bought it and never touch it? Like my dad one year gave me an Apple TV for my birthday, and it's been hooked up a couple of times, but we never use it ever.
Oh, we use it all the time. My wife uses it primarily like to put movies on the TV or something like that. So it's pretty
really solid.
It's extremely solid. We have a tablet dedicated so that she doesn't have to load a whole bunch of stuff on her phone. She can just go onto the tablet, and it's an old tablet I have, and it'll just stream to the Chromecast using Netflix, Hulu, whatever, and she just loves it.
Yeah, it looks like Crumpet in the chat room says that Crumpet Pirate says that he uses it every single day. We've been pretty happy with the Roku. I think the Fire TV will be our next purchase. So yeah. When we get one next time. We're not in any rush. We're not in a rush.
We have 3 Rokus in our house right now, and we have 2 Boxies. We have a Ouya.
Ouya isn't a streaming box. It's a gaming box.
Oh.
Doesn't count.
Oh.
Doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
Nope, doesn't count.
Okay. And an Apple TV.
I would have preferred Boxy to be the winner.
I know. Boxy was great. Boxy was really good in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, really good. And then it was still solid.
2010,
it was still solid even later, but yeah, then Plex came along. All right. So Angela, it is time for our I forgot I have a Kickstarter of the week. You have an email to read.
I do.
So do you want to start with that, and then we'll do our Kickstarter of the week?
Sure. It's the title is New Invention Acts Like a GoPro for Your Smartphone, now live on Kickstarter.
What?
We have it. And this isn't me saying we. This isn't a royal we. This is this person.
We got an email from who's the name?
Justice.
Okay.
We have a live Kickstarter for a patent pending invention called Hand Snap. Not hand as in hand snap. It's HAN snap.
Hand snap.
Hand snap. I came up with the idea while crowdsurfing at a heavy metal concert. I needed a mechanism that would strap my phone to my hand in a way that I could film myself without the fear of losing my phone. I developed this idea further into a fully adjustable wearable geared towards filming, but also fully applicable for any form of smartphone use.
All right.
Please take a look.
So let's do our Kickstarter of the week, and we'll go over to the page. It's Hand Snap. Right now has 44 backers. A goal of $90,000. Currently has raised $4,116 with 45 days to go. So here's a picture of it. Do you want to see the video, Ange? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Sounds pretty cool. All right, we got somebody riding on a lot of outdoor sports. People way cooler than me. Look at that. Look how active they are. So they're all holding the... Oh, I see. You can see how they're using it already in the video. You see it?
Yeah.
My name is Justice Earl. I come from Santa Cruz, California. I'm in a band. I work in solar technology. I love adventure. I love experiencing new things all the time. So my wife and I were at a romantic evening this last Valentine's Day at a death metal concert. I was crowd surfing, and I wanted to film myself crowd surfing, but I didn't want to drop my phone. I didn't want to lose my phone in the mosh pit. So I needed a device that connected my phone to my hand and enabled me to film myself.
Boy, I hear that.
Went home, started prototyping. As I was using it, I realized that it needed to be more widely applicable to your everyday user. So I developed an arm to where you can hold it in a very natural filming position, and now the arm is doing all of the holding work. You're not holding your phone afraid that you're gonna drop it. So my initial concept of this product would be to film yourself first person. So I was thinking about this position. It enables the camera, it doesn't get the corner of your hand, you're filming like this, right? Any kind of activity where you want your device close at hand, you want access to it, you want stability, you don't want to worry about losing it, you know, Hand Snap offers that safety that you need. I realized that this device had a much wider range of uses than just crowd surfing. Another application is just for everyday use. Say a square. You're at a show, you're selling merch, you're at a farmer's market, you're selling lettuce. Whatever you're doing, you now have your phone.
That could see that for Square.
Totally.
For ease of use. You can even use this device to attach it to inanimate objects around you. To
okay, all right, I like that.
Or use in whatever way
So they're wrapping
you
it around a pole right now using the straps. All right, okay. So I think we've got the basic idea, and let's look at some of the fundamentals like cost. So you can get just a $1 pledge, just to be like send them good vibes, as they put it. Mm-hmm. They have a Cyber Monday deal with only one left, $15, and you actually get a shirt. But you step up to $25, and you get the Hand Snap Zeppelin Black Mesh Snap Black Trucker hat. Let's see, illustrated T-shirt. When you get the hat plus the shirt there, okay, here you go. Hand Snap device. Fits iPhone 5, 6 without a case, or in a life-proof spec case. Also fits the Samsung S4 and S5s without any case. $50. All gone. $65 is the next available price point. You get the same device, but it's now the only quantity available. Expected to ship May 2015. Only shipping to the United States.
Ew.
$65.
No. Nope.
What?
I don't know. I think for a really well-built case, I don't think that's unreasonable, especially for something that you could use, like you are somebody who's constantly out in public that wants to take pictures of a group, and you could use this to set the camera up somewhere.
I could also just get a $10 selfie stick.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't need it. Like, you don't get much of more of an angle by still having it attached to your hand, you know?
Well, you get some control over it. All right, Eric, what do you think?
Well, they had me sold with that lighthouse in the video, but that I digress. I honestly think it has a lot of different applications.
Like maybe like
at
a conference or something?
At a conference, that's exactly where I was going with that, because I have something similar set up with a tripod, but at the same time, there are times where you just want to go around and take video about what's going on around you, and
so you see in the video version here how it's mounted to those poles. Mm-hmm. Well, in the new version of Wirecast, you can bring in an iOS device as a camera, and so we could actually have like iPods or something mounted right there, and they have pretty high resolution cameras.
Interesting.
And they could use that to mount to those poles that we have there, and we could bring them in as.
We could also just use duct tape. I'm kidding. He's looking at me like, what?
So I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. I'm kind of tempted to back it. All right, well, let's see. What do we got? Lionhead, what do you think?
The price is just no. It completely kills the product for me.
If it was $25, would that be a no-brainer?
I would absolutely consider it for $25, but $65, no.
I gotta admit, the price point is kind of steep.
Yeah, if I could see it in person and play with it and get an idea how good like the arm was and how steady it was, then maybe $65. But when you're buying it blind...
All right. So I just thought of something.
Okay. All right. What?
At conventions in the future, if we're going to have merchandise or swag that we're going to sell, and we get a Square account or Stripe, right?
Square.
Square. That would be handy to just have the phone on the back of our hand.
Yeah, I know. For conferences and we could use it here in studio for behind us camera, which would be kind of neat.
What happens to these products once the Kickstarter is launched? Like, do other companies, bigger companies, go out and buy the product and then make it more efficient and release it mainstream?
It depends. Sometimes. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, it does depend a lot on the Kickstarter, because something like Elite Dangerous, they use the Kickstarter money to say, look, there is interest in this product. We would like it if you could put some more money in because you'll probably get something back. So they do use Kickstarters to say that there is interest.
And in this case, there is patent pending, so it's not like somebody can steal it legally.
So what do you guys think? Should we, because if we get it, then we can also review it here on the show. So it's also good content.
I'm torn between the price point and the quality of the product, and I think it's a great quality product. It's just a matter of that price point is really steep.
Does the $65 come with everything before it, like the trucker hat and the shirt?
Let's see. Nope, it does not. It does not.
Lame.
Yeah.
See, personally, I'm stuck between the price point and the duct tape.
Right? I know, and they make duct tape in all sorts of... You can get bacon duct tape now. Mac and cheese duct tape.
All right, so Mumble Room, everybody yay or nay?
Nay.
Nah.
Personally, nay.
Wow.
I'm abstaining.
What do you think, Ange? Yay or nay? What say you? We've identified 3 potential uses for the device.
Well, on the one hand, I like that Justice contacted us directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, keeping that in mind, I think we could.
All right, so you're giving it a win? Judge Angela?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can find a use for it.
All right, there you go. Very good.
I want that sound effect.
So, well, if we get it and we back it, we will give you a review on the show when it comes in. Okay, so I just want to plug the subreddit. Thank you, all of you over there at techtalktoday.reddit.com. There's always some good stories, extra content, and it's a good way to give me an idea of what you want to see covered. I actually meant to put in the Stephen Hawking's voice going open source, so I'll try to pick that up maybe tomorrow if I remember. So that was a good submission by Unspedden. I don't even know. Unspedden. techtalktoday.reddit.com. That's where you can go to give us feedback. We have threads for just about every episode unless I don't get a chance to post it. And today at jupiterbroadcasting.com if you want to send us in an email like Justice did.
Also, today's Women's Tech Radio episode 3 came
out. Yeah, it did.
And the polo ended yesterday. It met its goal, and those will start printing.
Cool.
The Tech Talk
Not
Today
actually
shirt,
technically printing, start sewing. The polos.
Yes, sewing, right. Yeah, right. That is, it's hand sewn. The Tech Talk Today shirts are still available for another day.
Yeah,
so if
Jupiter.gift if you want to grab one.
Yep.
Which, you know what? We have similar ones on right now, and they're very nice. We're both wearing one.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, that's a great way to support the network. Or get yourself something. You can also just ship it directly to somebody, which is kind of cool. And hey, for those of patrons out there who listen to the show, there is a thread in the Patreon activity feed right now. It's open to everybody, not just patrons.
Okay.
So if you go to patreon.com/today, the thread is open to everybody, and it's what kind of things about behind-the-scenes type stuff would you like to see? And I'll do answers in videos. Not all the time, just from time to time when I grab one and I have a moment, I'll answer it with a video.
And those will be patron
only.
Yes.
But anybody can ask, and then I'll let you know in this show when we have a new one up, or if I remember. You also get an email notification if you're a patron. So, and I just posted one about our storage recently, if you haven't seen that. And that kind of inspired me to start the new thread. So you can find all of that over at patreon.com/today. Plus, you can also support the whole network.
And that's not furniture storage.
No, it's hard drive storage.
Yep.
All right, Andrews, we're going to get out of here with another classic device, and it's one that I actually tried to find a long time ago for the show, and I never found the right one, but finally I got it. Angela, I wonder if I don't want to say what it is because I wonder if you can identify it. It's from 1983.
Ooh, good year.
So that might be in your range.
That's my year.
It was an insanely popular product. Thank you for joining us for episode 100, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific. Noon Eastern, jblive.tv. Bye-bye.
Take a cassette out of its case, and most people just see an empty box. But Sony saw something quite different. Sony introduces the only cassette player as small as a cassette case. The incredible-sounding Super Walkman.
Enter Sony's $25,000 sweepstakes. Look for this display at your Sony dealer.